Hey everybody, welcome to Angry Daiquiri, where I talk about things that piss me off. Hopefully they piss you off so we can have a shared cathartic experience. Today's anger is brought to you by production and how Alec Baldwin accidentally killed someone. Let's get into it.
I'm sick and tired, and honestly, I'm really fucking angry at this moment.
Oh, how I've been meaning to talk about this one for a while. So for those of you that don't know a little backstory, I used to work in production. I was what was called a first team PA, meaning that I worked exclusively with the assistant director's department and the actors, hair, makeup, wardrobe, and properties, meaning anything that an actor touches, okay? It was a cop show. We constantly worked with shootouts, guns, explosions, lots of special effects, okay? It's a cop show. There is what is called a safety meaning that every time before you shoot, everyone on set is brought together in a huddle with a little powwow explaining how every little detail is going to go down so that everyone can be safe, because it is a very dangerous thing. Now, let's talk about what happened first. Alec Baldwin's on this movie being shot in Santa Fe called Rust. It's an old Western movie, from what I gather. What happened was a scene where he comes out of this old church. It's a gunfight. He's supposed to shoot a round. It's a fake round, meaning that it looks real, it sounds real, but it's not real. Unfortunately, the barrel was not checked. So shrapnel was fired and unfortunately killed the director of photography, Halyna Hutchins, and it injured the director of the movie. Okay, now let's talk about why this happened. And it goes back to why all the union members from IATSE went on strike. Because they called out this literal thing, production taking cuts just so they can make the damn thing. And look, I get it. That is production's job, to get it done. But at what cost? This isn't like an isolated incident. Now, granted, we haven't seen someone be shot since 1993 when Bruce Lee's son was killed in that tragic accident. But no one talks about, the people that work such long hours with a quick turnaround. They have to be back on set in 5 hours, that they die at the wheel of their car because they fall asleep, because they're overworked. This is why they were fighting and about to go on strike. Now, let's bring up a message. I'm going to bring this up so you guys can read along with me. It's a text message from someone on crew, a camera crew. They said, and I quote, "The entire camera crew walked off that morning for that exact reason. Last night, we each wrote resignation letters. We cited everything from lack of payment for 3 weeks, taking our hotels away despite asking for them in our deals, lack of COVID safety." Here's a spelling error. I think they meant to say, and on top of that, poor gun safety, poor on-set safety, period. We wrote about this exact issue last night and walked this morning because of it. That's not in any of the papers. They brought in 4 non-union guys to replace us and tried calling the cops on us. Only people that stayed were Halyna, the DP, and Reed, the B Steady app. That was the B Cam guy. Now, that was confirmed by LA Times when they wrote, and I quote from there. I'll link this in the YouTube. If you guys want to see it on your own, you can do that. But here's a snippet that I want to quote that brings up exactly what we've been talking about. "The camera crew showed up for work as expected at 6:30 a.m. Thursday and began gathering up their gear and personal belongings to leave," one knowledgeable crew member told the Los Angeles Times. "Labor trouble had been brewing for days on the dusty set of the Bonanza Creek Ranch near Santa Fe. Shooting began on October 6th, and members of the production said they had been promised the production would pay for their hotel rooms in Santa Fe. But after filming began, the crews were told they instead would be required to make the 50-mile drive from Albuquerque each day rather than stay overnight in nearby Santa Fe." Quote from the production company, "The safety of our cast and crew is the top priority of Rust Productions and everyone associated with the company. Though we were not made aware of any official complaints concerning weapon or prop safety on set, we will be conducting an internal review of our procedures while production is shut down. We will continue to cooperate with Santa Fe authorities in their investigation and offer mental health services to the cast and crew during this tragic time. First of all, how fucking rich is that? The safety and the cast of your crew was clearly not the top priority, or else this wouldn't have happened. Look, folks, I used to work on a cop show, okay? We would do gun safety protocols all the time. We did explosions, SFX. Every single time, every crew member was made aware, and we checked the barrel each time. The fact that people brought this up to production, wrote resignation letters, and then the production company has the balls to be like, we weren't made aware of it. Okay, first of all, I can tell you, like, from a person that has a little bit of the behind the scenes on this, yes, they did. Yes, they were made aware of it. The first AD or the second AD or the second, someone was made aware of this. And they chose to cut the corner and go, you know what? Fuck them. Let them walk. We'll get non-union people because we're going to get it done. That's the culture. Let me tell you a real story. I'm not going to say this person's name. But I remember this second AD was on set and he was bragging about how when he was coming up through the ranks as a PA, there was a very well-known actress that was on set that had just given birth, and she forgot her breast pump. She couldn't act. She's like, I can't do it without the breast pump. I'm going to be in my trailer. And with pride, he talked about how he took an Uber and spent $100 to go all the way up to Upper West Side to this one place, and with his own money, he spent money on that breast pump, got back down, got her the breast pump, and she was able to do the breast thing and then go on set and do the thing. And he was like, I did it because that's what it took. Yeah, it took your whole day's pay, $250 measly as a PA, to drive in an Uber all the way up to the Upper West Side to get that breast pump. I'm sorry, but even I was like, that's your story of pride? That's the culture here, is falling on the sword for this millionaire who could have just had a breast pump brought over to her with her own money? That is disgusting to me. Like, I'm a nobody, so I have no say, but if I was the director on set and a cast member showed up, a millionaire cast member, which she is, showed up without her breast pump and she's like, I can't perform, I'd be like, well, then you're not on the fucking show. You're not on the movie then. You can't do your job then. But no, people bend over backwards for celebrities. They cut all the corners to get it done because that's what we do. We're production. Meanwhile, the ADs are doing cocaine in the fucking three-banger restrooms while the rest of us are standing out in the cold shooting an overnight for minimum wage. This is exactly why shit like this happens. Because they don't care about the crew. They care about the cast. But they don't give a shit about the crew. Someone tweeted this in this IATSE strike, and I thought it was the best tweet. I'm going to look it up and put it up. But if I can't find it while I'm shooting it now, I'm just going to say it. They're like actors. If you have a problem standing with the IATSE crew members, just ask them for a seat, which they will gladly get for you so you can sit down. This is exactly why this happened. Because they wanted to cut corners. They wanted to get it done because we're production. Well, folks, this is why people are infuriated. This is why IATSE almost went on strike. Because these kind of working conditions are absolutely unlivable. And in the case of Halyna Hutchins and almost this director, they lost their lives in this. And for what? Just so the movie could get done and a couple production people could pat themselves on the backs while they like have a board meeting with the people that invested it and go, see, we did it with the budget you gave us. Fuck off. Here's what's going to happen. Santa Fe local authorities are going to do their investigation. They're going to see that it was gross negligence. And everyone from the UPM to the AD, the second AD, whoever was on call for properties, look, folks, it's going to be a shit show. And people like this need to be brought down. People like this need to be made example of. Because this is just absolutely unacceptable. Anyways, that's my time. Like and share. Tell me what you think. This is just my opinion. I'm sure a lot of people have other opinions. It's a big conversation. Sorry. I was sick at the time of recording this. I'm much better now. I don't have the COVID. But yeah, like and reshare. Let me know what you think in the comments. And next week I'll talk about something else that's pissing me off. Love you guys, and thanks again. Chicken daiquiri.